Hello everyone, this is Ippe and now we are back in Angels with Scaly Wings. It has been way too long time since I have played this game. Way too long. But I have been quite busy and yeah, that's about it. I certainly hope I can remember what voices I used to different characters after all this time, but I think I'll do just fine. Yes, I want to skip ahead, because I remember still that I was, well, Bruce indeed. This time we will get Bruce's endings. And like always, bad ending before the good ending. But I certainly do remember what happened in this first scene. Bruce and his drinking games. Yes, I think this is something new, yes, I see. I guess. Hello, Ippe. How can I help you? Wait, aren't you the bartender from the other day? Well, you certainly are. That I am. Did you have fun that evening? Yeah, it was alright. Well, passing out because being drunk, I don't really think it's too fun. You know, you can do more in the bar than just getting drunk. Oh, really? I could show you sometime if you want to. Is that an invitation? Well, if you put it that way, it kind of is. Anyway, how can I help you? That was something new. And there was also the Remy's part, which I think I forgot to say. Meet with the store clerk. But I have always met side characters usually during the good ending parts. So that's what I will do when it's time for good ending. But now, just for the bad ending. Hey, Ippe, good to see you. Thanks for the invitation, you too. Your face. Thanks for the invitation. No need to be so formal. Sorry, I'm the chief, but here I'm just Bruce. Wait a minute, something seems different here. What do you mean? Oh, that's it. We're both sober. I thought we weren't going to mention that. Right. Don't mind the chaos. This is just a temporary arrangement. He led me inside and motioned to the couch. When I took a seat and looked around, I realized this apartment was obviously designed with only a single person in mind. Some days, all you can do is be glad they're over. Long day at work. You know how it is at the police department, especially with everything going on. Is this a bad time for me to visit? Hey, things are pretty overwhelming for me. Being an emissary is no joke. How many dead have you found so far? Well, is it bad time for me to visit everything is going on? Heck no, I could use a good company right now. So, what do you usually do for fun in your world? Read, meet with friends, spend time outside, work out. It depends. Meeting with friends, really? Right with you on that one. How about you? Different things, a little bit this, a little bit of that. You know how it is. That's not very specific. Alright, I'll show you something. But promise me you won't laugh, okay? Sir, I can promise anything, just show me we're both adults here. Sir? Good. He went to a shelf on the far side of the room and picked up a long object, carrying it in his maw as he returned to the table before me and gently set it down. It was a wooden model ship. From first appearances, I guessed it was a child's first attempt at assembling a model. While the shape was recognizable, there were odd pieces jutting out or not fitting together properly. In some places, blobs of dry glue remained from excessive use. Was the Parkinson subject jet food? What's this? Looks nice. What is this? A ship model? Well, you asked about my hobbies. I guess this is the latest one. Even though I try, I don't always make the best decisions. I know I'm not the most patient person. But in my line of work, you never know what they're gonna throw at you next, so you always have to be prepared. You can't have any exploitable weaknesses. And of course, I would be fit for duty. As the chief, people looked up to me, so I had to be at my best at all times. We can both tell the model's not very good. I don't really have the patience or the dexterity for it. But I tried my hand at this to get better. Sir, it took me way longer than it should have, and my clothes were covered in glue for a week afterwards. But you know, these models aren't even intended for us. They're meant for runners like Sebastian who have the proper hands to do that stuff. I know this shape isn't much, but it's something. And maybe, if I keep trying, I'll get better. Wait a minute, you have ships? Not in this town, but yeah, we have ships, alright. Why does that surprise you? I just find it interesting because where I come from, we also have vehicles for land and air travel. Well, some of us can fly and some of us can run well, but none of us can swim beyond the seas. Do you even have different continents? Not that I know of. You'd probably have to ask someone who knows more about our world than I do. How can you not know something? How can you not know about something like that? Well, we do get the occasional explorer who ventures out into uncharted seas, but I don't really keep track of that kind of thing. Would you want to visit if they ever found one? I can't say that I don't find it all exciting, but in the end, I've got my people here, and they need their chief. Maybe you could take a vacation and see what's out there. Huh, if I ever had time for that, maybe. Can you swim? Not particularly well. You may have noticed that I'm not exactly streamlined. Don't worry, fat floats of water, you're the pinnacle of masculinity. Not quite. You're the pinnacle of masculinity, I guess. I'm glad you think so. I'm not sure what to say to that, okay. These muscles are the result of years of hard work. Alright, put your hand on my forearm. Don't you technically have 4 legs? I guess, but it's easier to say forearm than specifying the upper part of my foreleg. Besides, using the word leg might get misinterpreted. That would make you think of my thigh, and that would be something else entirely. Not that I'd mind grabbing your thigh. Right, I wouldn't think of that you there. Yeah, right. I placed my hand on the upper part of his foreleg, somewhat surprised at the warmth radiating from his scales. I hope you're ready, because here I go. His forearm shifted, the shape of his muscles changing as they became more definite. In a moment they were firm and bulging, his scales flaring under the stress and looking as though they might pop off at any moment. It reminded me of a flexing bodybuilder in a skin-tight lycra suit. After a few seconds, his muscles relaxed and regained their former shape. See? That's what I'm talking about. Color me impressed, flex your own puny muscles. What a waste of time. Let's see what happens. You think you're the only one who can do that? Just take a look at this. I rolled up my sleeves and flexed my arms, showing them off from the best angle as I struck a pose. Nice try, buddy, but I still don't think you want to arm wrestle with me. It's too bad that all those muscles couldn't help you when Retsa got away and you got stuck on those stairs. Hey, that wasn't my fault. It was the damn stairs. Speaking of which, this whole case has been completely insane. I was always a step behind Retsa and Maverick running around trying to catch him himself. I wonder what he's been up to. Maverick? Yep. We had an interesting conversation not too long ago. What? When exactly was that? When I went into town to check your list of places Retsa had been to. How come you didn't say anything about that before? I didn't think it was anything worth mentioning. It was a pretty one-sided conversation anyway. Alright, maybe you should start from the beginning. I don't want to say he's crazy, but I have no idea what he's talking about. Me neither. You know, next time you should let the police decide whether something like that is worth mentioning or not. Why did you not tell us about this again? I thought it was just Maverick being Maverick. He's not normally like that. I don't get it. Why has he been acting like that? Do you think he's onto something? I don't know. But there must be a reason behind his behavior. Maybe he's just crazy, maybe it's just a misunderstanding, maybe he's right about Retsa. Well, after all we have seen, maybe he is right, because he is. You think so? Considering everything that's happened here so far, it's possible. That will put you in a very bad position. I know. But if it was him, I can't change what he's done. I can only try to help you as much as possible. I'm just thinking out loud, but Retsa was the first of your kind to come here. He arranged the generator and PDA trade, and then you came through the portal to deliver your part of the deal. Did your people have any goals or long-term plans for us? Or was this exchange going to be a one-off thing? It was supposed to be a scouting mission more than anything, a test to see if this kind of business relationship could work out. And if it did, it would make humanity very happy. Things aren't looking good on that front right now though. But yeah, that's another reason why I'm helping you. However this whole thing turns out, no matter what happens, I've got your back, okay? Thank you, likewise. Watch your own back first. Likewise. Remember that house in the farm? I guess you do. Generators being bombs. No, that's the spirit. Hey, I'm gonna grab myself a beer. You want one? No, thanks. Sir, I thought you didn't want to get drunk again. No, thanks. If you say so. I am not getting drunk again, okay? Bruce got up and left through one of the doors to fetch his beer, leaving me alone in the room. Wait, examine the blanket, look at the magazine, stretch your legs a bit. I don't know, stretch my legs. Not one to just sit around and wait. I did some simple stretching exercises to pass the time. You stretch your legs for a bit. Apparently, this is worthy of an achievement. Bruce lumbered back to the door, the handle of the beer-filled basket clamped in his mouth. He carefully set the basket on the coffee table and took out the beers one by one. Once he was done, he swatted the empty basket in the far corner. Help yourself if you like. Bruce's store-bought beer looked very different from what I had seen in the bar. They were presented in large plastic bowls that were sealed at the top, reminding me of yogurt containers. He broke the seal of one of the containers with his glove and proceeded to drink it noisily. Sweet, sweet nectar, always does its job. Can I ask you something? Go for it. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I watch how you carried the beer. I was going to ask how do you do daily tasks like shopping, for example, but I guess those baskets are your best friends. That's just how we do things around here. I'm not sure why that's so special to you. That makes me wonder. I know you can use your forelegs well enough for things, but what about your hind legs? Can you walk on those? Good question. If you're just talking about my species, some of us can, at least a little. But me, I probably wouldn't be able to take more than 2 steps that way. Interesting. Maybe that's something I should practice as well. It'd be a good exercise in discipline. Regardless, I wouldn't be part of any competition anytime soon. You have competitions? Oh yes, each species gets their own athletic competition with a few events every other year. That sounds fun. Ever thought of joining in? It's not really my kind of thing. I mean, it's always just about who's the best and the strongest and who has the biggest muscles and all that. I'm not into that full competitive lifestyle. And some of those events can also be a bit dangerous. One accident and it could be over for me as a chief. That sounds rough. What kind of competitions do you have? They usually highlight individual species strengths and abilities. We get to do strength-based stuff, the flyers get to fly, the runners get to run, and so on. Speaking of which, it's kinda funny just how upright you are when you move. The runners lean forward and use their big tails to balance, whereas you have yours tucked into whatever that is you are wearing. Actually, we don't have tails. Are you kidding me? Not at all. Seriously? Everything alive has a tail. How can you just not have one? That's just the way you are. Evolution, I suppose. Some animals just don't have tails, us included. I will always blame evolution if something goes wrong. Not really. Guess you were out of more than just your fur. But tails are wonderful. Just look at mine. That's a pretty weak weapon right there. And you just have nothing. Can't help it. Evolution. You know what? I don't believe you. I'm not sure how I can make this any more clear. Show me. No bloody way. Why the heck not? I'm not sure if I can adequately explain this, but we wear these things for a reason. Asking to see what is underneath is very offensive in our culture. Is that so? Yes. Sounds like an excuse to me, but I'm not going to argue. Okay, so we've got tails covered, but what about wings? I don't think we can call those little things on my back wings. What are they, then? Articulated pieces of armor, I guess. Can you flap them? I could try. Bryce got up on all fours, running his body in preparation for what was to come. His face contorted into a grimace as his upper body strained. He held the pose for a few seconds, but nothing happened except for his continuous groan of effort. Then suddenly his wings started to move. Slowly at first, they swayed up and down. They gradually picked up speed and moved with a rhythm that could rightfully be called flapping. It reminded me of the pigeons I often saw back home. After holding for a few seconds, he breathed a sigh of relief as he relaxed, and the flapping motion stopped again. A single bit of sweat rolled down the side of his face as he looked at me panting. That was awesome. Can you do that again? I wasn't looking. You didn't even take off. Huh. That was awesome. Yeah, that's certainly a first. That was certainly a first. Too bad they don't have any flapping competition for my species. That was exhausting. Just the right time for a beer. Stop him, do nothing, ask him if he really should have another. Do nothing. Because we are in Bryce's home, he can do anything he wants here. I sat back and watched as Bryce took the last beer, opened it, and took his first sip with a slurp. So I've been wondering, what does it take for someone to become humanity's ambassador? I'm still not quite sure how I ended up here. I guess in my case it was a combination of the right degrees, volunteering, and a great deal of luck. What kind of job did you have before that? Were you like a politician or a diplomat or what? Actually, I was none of those things. Redsa maybe, but certainly not me. I guess it's not like you needed ambassadors to represent humans before, right? That makes this whole process a first, unless you had aliens show at your place before. No, we didn't have aliens. It's funny that you say that, because for a while there actually was speculation that you were aliens. Well, it's not like we fly around in spaceships or anything. Strictly speaking, the word alien refers to any form of life that doesn't originate from our own planet. So that makes us aliens to each other, right? Well, I'm not sure if that would be a good descriptor for your kind. Oh, why not? Let's just say that where I come from, the word often carries negative connotations with it. That's no good. What does that make us then? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to make up a new word for sentient civilized dragons. What do you think about us humans anyway? I know many others have their own ideas of what humans are or what they're supposed to be. I'm not buying into all that, so I'll just take it as it is. And how is it? Well, you've been interesting enough so far, I read, so I'm reserving judgment on that one. It's so funny to see people talking about humans all the time and what your presence could mean, while I'm one of the few who's actually gone to meet you and knows what you're like. And people still don't know about Redsa. That'll certainly be interesting. What do you think will happen once the truth about him gets out? I'll start worrying about that once we know what the truth actually is. Good point. You work with the police long enough, you learn to know. You learn not to have any preconceived notions about such things. Take things as they are and do what's necessary. I imagine you have seen many things as a chief. I certainly have. They're usually not the kind of thing I should tell people about, though. Why not? Not sure how it's done where you are from, but here people usually don't like me telling them about the horrible things I see at work. It can be that bad. I've probably seen worse. I see. I see. I see. Man, look at the time. We spent all afternoon talking. Guess I should be heading back to my apartment. Yeah, it's getting pretty late, and I still have to prepare some stuff for tomorrow. Can you find your way out? Yeah, the door is right there. See you soon then. See you. Nothing going on today. Guess I can do whatever. If that's your decision, then so be it. I'll have your back either way. Thanks, Bruce. Let's see what's in the store, because the store clerk may have something new for us. Well, there wasn't anything new. You acquired a map. Actually, it's a blueprint. Hmm? You did great today, Ippe. The police department is glad to have you on our side. I do what I can. I know, and your help is greatly appreciated, believe me, especially since we're so short on staff right now. That'll be all for today. I'll contact you if you need anything. Of course. See you next time. See ya. Finally a free day. What should I do? Meet with Bruce. What else? The backgrounds in Angels with Scaly Wings are really beautiful, I must say. There you are, Ippe. Seems like you're the last one. I thought I was on time. Oh, you are. It's just that everyone always gets so excited about this that they come a little earlier. I thought it was strange how late you heard this little get-together anyway. It's simple, really. Now we get this beach all to ourselves. Before you go and meet the others, I should probably warn you. What is it? There is someone here that you may not approve of. And who would that be? Maverick. Why is he here? All things considered, I think it's better for him to be here, where I can watch him than if he was out there doing who knows what. You know what I mean. Besides, if I invited you and not him, I'm not sure how he would react that. He's always come to my barbecues before. Plus, maybe if I talk to him, I can find out what he's up to. Does he know that I'm here? Yes, and he assured me that he will give the peace. Can you do the same? Of course I can. Maverick is just... He really thinks... He's not really thinking that I want to stop Red, but if you remember Udan's good ending, he actually apologizes. Because I really wanted to stop Red. Thanks, I appreciate it. I just hope there won't be any incidents. Alright, let's go and meet the others. As we walked a few paces, I saw some familiar faces. Usually there'd be more people here, but with everything else that's going on, some of the others at the department couldn't get any time off. Hey everyone, guess who's finally here? You may remember John, the waiter at that bar. Well, certainly yes. Hello, Ippe. Hey. Hello, Sebastian. Hey, Ippe.
Hey, Ippe.
Did Bruce tell you to be nice to me? Hey, Maverick. Maverick certainly doesn't approve me. Well, but thinking again what the situation is, it's not even a miracle. Alright, let's get this barbecue started. I don't see a grill or anything here, and where's the firewood? You see the pile of stones over there? That's our grill. And firewood? Well, we don't need that. I see. So, who's gonna light the fire? I could make my own this time. Very subtle, Sebastian. No need to be subtle about it, John. Your fire stunk up the whole area last year and it made everything taste weird.
I didn't notice a difference.
Yeah, because everything tasted the same to you, Maverick. I told you, I had the flu. I'm pretty sure you gave us more than just your fire. I think we got some of your spit in there too. Yes, because of the flu. Everything was congested, so it was hard to get anything out of it all. You're not making this any better. Excuses. I'm just telling you how it is. Besides, it wasn't even my idea to light the fire. You were all like, oh, Chang never lit the fire, he should do it. Don't blame me for getting what you wanted. Yeah, and we learned our lesson. Chang, not even once. You wouldn't be complaining so much about it if it wasn't for the flu I had. Maybe I should try it again this time to prove you wrong. No thanks, last year was bad enough.
Why don't you do it, Bruce?
I'm not sure if I'm feeling up for the task. Why doesn't Ippe do it?
I like that idea.
Ah, thanks, Maverick. Yes, let Ippe do it. It seems we have an unanimous decision here. Go ahead, Ippe. Show us what you got. Suddenly, they all looked at me, clearly expecting me to light the fire for them. I don't want to disappoint you, but I don't suppose you have any matches. Is this a joke? I don't suppose you have any matches. Awkward silence. They were all still watching me, not moving or batting an eye, when suddenly laughter erupted. And Maverick says nothing. Okay guys, I get it. The joke's on me. Should have seen your face. Yeah, it was great. Don't pay any heed to them. They're always like this. Oh, thanks, John. Yeah, I noticed. Seriously though, who should light the fire? You really wanna do it, don't you, Seb? Is it that obvious? Just go ahead then. We already agreed John is not doing it. Hey, I told you I could prove it wrong this time. Yeah, let's not ruin a barbecue 2 years in a row. Maybe next year then. I don't feel up for it this year, and with Maverick's aim, he probably shouldn't either. I'd rather not risk anything.
I could hit you anytime.
Sir, but we just want to have a barbecue, not set the full beach on fire. Sorry, I've got this cough, whatever it's pronounced. Besides, Sebastian's fire always makes the food so crisp and smoky. I like that. Any objections? Nope.
Me neither.
Master of Ceremony, would you light the fire, please? Is it an easy job? But someone's gotta do it. Sebastian went up to the small bed of stones they had prepared. Since his back was turned towards me, I couldn't exactly see what he did, but a few seconds later, a fire started burning among the stones. There we go. Well done, Sebastian. My pleasure. Alright everyone, pick your poison. Just to get you up to speed, Ippe, we've got pretty much everything here you could ask for. Of course we have all varieties of meat, but we also have some vegetables and cheese if you're into that sort of thing. We even got some of the algae stuff we usually bring for Naomi, one of the girls at the department, but she couldn't come tonight. Just help yourself and throw it on the fire. Sebastian always gets some veggies with his meat, whereas John goes totally crazy with the cheese stuff. Now that I think about it, maybe it was the damn cheese that made everything so bad last time. Oh, shut up, or else I'll force feed you some of it. No thanks, keep your cheese to yourself, please. Where was I? Alright, I go for the meat personally. As I said, the algae is normally for Naomi. She really likes the stuff, but she's one of the water kind, so that's not a surprise. I tried it myself once, not really my kind of thing, but feel free to take some if you want to. And then there's Maverick. He just eats whatever he can get into his muzzle. A few years ago, a sandstorm managed to hide between some slabs of meat he got. He didn't even notice and just kept on munching.
Yeah, but that was with Bryce's cooking, so I couldn't tell the difference.
Hee. Why, you... After all of us made our selection and put it on the fire, we sat down in a circle around it. Of course, Bruce made sure that Merrick and I were not sitting next to each other. So Bruce, how's that scene with Amara going on for you? It's weird. I'm not even really doing anything. I just had to follow her around and stand guard in her office. But what's worse, I think I found out why she wanted to do the whole thing in the first place. Oh, do enlighten us. It's kinda embarrassing, to be honest. Now you definitely have to say it. Alright. The real reason why she wants me to be around her so much is that she totally has the hots for me. Oh, come on. Seriously?
You wish.
You all know what she's like in public, right? But as soon as it's only us two in the room, she's like a totally different person. It's unreal. I mean, I believe that she's different in private, but still. Of course, Bruce. When you make up a story, just going out with a high-ranking politician isn't enough. Obviously, she also can't resist your manly allure. What is true? I'm not even interested in her. For one, she isn't really my type, and regardless if it's her public or private persona, her personality really sucks. What was that about sucking? Oh, shut up. If no one wants to believe me, I just stop before I get to the really bad stuff. I can actually confirm that she does act like a totally different person when she doesn't think she's being watched by the general public. Interesting. And Maverick doesn't say anything, of course. Okay, Bruce, why don't you tell us more? What exactly does she like about you? What's not to like about me? We get it, Bruce. Let's just change the subject. It's true, I swear. Then give us some details. What's she like in private? It all started innocently enough, but as I told you, when we were alone, she started to get kinda weird after a while. She wasn't even remotely subtle about it either. Once even the word cavity search came up. From her, mind you, not me. Oh, come on. I can't even listen to this anymore. And then later, she was only like, oh, my back is so stiff, would you mind giving me a massage? You look like you had the proper strength to give me a good one. It's like she's not even trying to hide it. Did you give it to her? Of course not. I told her I'm no good with messages, that's the truth. Who would have thought? Do you really believe him, said? I'm not judging, just listening. Emera wanting you to give her a message hardly constitutes her having the hots for you, though. I'm not even done yet. Well, I'm done with this. Earlier today, she taught me how nice it would be for a child to grow up with two leaders for parents. Actually, I don't think even Bruce could have come up with that one on his own. I'm not buying it. Hey, at least you believe me, right, Ippe? I do, sorry I don't, sorry I'm not taking sides on this one. Well, this is certainly a difficult choice, but I really hate this cough I have. But let's say I do. I can totally picture Emma acting like that. See, I told you, if I believes it, it must be true. Can't argue with that logic. Maybe just alcohol talking. I didn't even have anything yet. So, but with as much as you drink, your blood is like at least 10% green by now. I bet you can't even get completely sober anymore. Anyway, what do you think I should do about her? Nothing, because you made up the whole thing in the first place. If I don't do anything, I'll probably end up having to marry her or something. And at that point, your story would actually be credible. Why did you just tell her to stop? It's not that easy, considering our positions. Even though I'm the chief, there's nothing I can do to prevent her from pulling me off the case and making me into her personal bodyguard. If I tell her off too strongly, she could totally make my professional life a nightmare. And she totally would. I see, so it is a situation that requires careful deliberation and subtlety. Not exactly your strong suit, Bruce. That's why I'm asking you, lad. Not that you're much better, though.
Maybe you should play along for a while just to see what happens. And then, once the time is right, you strike.
And strike refers to what exactly? I'm not going to indulge her in any way, shape or form. Oh, this is the kind of situation that's going to cause a huge uproar if I include it in my memoir. Who's going to read your memoir anyway? Well, I know at least one person. Ippe, what do you think I should do? Play along and see what happens, tell her how you really feel, go on a date with her. I'd say... tell her how you really feel. Are you sure? Well, if you string her along, that would be pretty dishonest, and she might be even more angry when she finds out the truth than if you had just told her up front. Good point. That kinda makes me curious, though. How does dating work in this world, considering there are so many sentient species around here? Is dating between different species encouraged? Maybe that's why Emera is so interested. Is there even any crossbreeding? I'm sure these questions will go over well in this group. Crossbreeding, that's funny. Well, there isn't any crossbreeding. It doesn't work like that. Besides, I thought you were into biology, so shouldn't you already know where hatchlings come from? You're a completely different life form from what I've seen before, so I didn't want to make any assumptions. There are many interspecies couples, though. And what happens if those couples want to have a child? There are plenty of options, though usually it's either adoption or a child where only one of the parents is biologically related. Emerald totally wants my children, though. Don't you want to be a father? Heck no, I'm not ready for that. I wouldn't even know what to do with a hatchling. I'd probably end up breaking its neck by accident or something like that. What about you, Ippe? What about me? Are you having the hots for someone here, as Bryce would put it? To be honest, I have no idea how that kind of relationship would be with where I come from, since we only have one sentient species. I'm not sure what sort of social norms would develop if that changed. Technically speaking, you dating one of us is no different than Emerald dating Sebastian, for example. Hey, I'm not getting between the beautiful thing Emerald and Bryce have going on. If you ask me, you can do whatever you like as long as you're here. Knock yourself out. Actually, Ippe has been hanging out with you a lot, Bryce. Awkward. So what? Ippe is a good person in my book. Or do any of you disagree? Not me.
No comment.
By the way, I think the food should be ready by now. Good catch. Slowly everyone shuffled towards the fire, which by now had become nothing more than an eerily glowing pile that illuminated the area. One by one everyone took their hot food from the stoneware and placed it onto provided paper plates and bowls. When it was my turn, I hesitated since I could still feel the heat radiating from the stones. Something the matter? I think this might be too hot for me to handle. Right, no scares. Let me get that for you. There you go. Thanks. We resumed our positions in a circle around the glowing stones, and I waited for my meal to cool down while the others started eating. Yup, crisp and smoky. Good job, Sebastian. Don't mention it. Really, it's good. I'm still not sure how you can eat that cheese stuff, John. Are we going to make fun of my food choices again? To be fair, we make fun of everyone and everything here.
I don't mind the cheese.
You wouldn't mind eating the full bed of stones and everything on it as well.
At least I try something different every once in a while.
I do too. I think there are at least 5 different kinds of meat this time around.
Case in point.
The food remaining on the stones slowly disappeared as everyone got their additional helpings. Soon, even the last piece was gone, and silence started setting as the band slowly died down. I think it's time for me to leave. What, already? Hey, the babysitter can only stay so long. Oh well. Yep, I should also be heading off. You know I'm starting early tomorrow. Well, guess we all got what we came here for. What about you, Maverick?
Looks like this party's over anyway.
Don't you all get lost in the dark, though? Of course. And until next year.
Thanks for inviting me, Bryce.
I suppose I should be heading off as well. Oh no, you don't. What are you talking about? Well, they all live in the vicinity, but your apartment is on that side of town. I'm not letting you go home alone at this hour. Bryce has always operated during the night, and he may just be waiting for an opportunity like this. What do you want me to do then? You can sleep over at my place, if you insist. Damn, now everyone left without cleaning up. At least you're still here to help me. Of course. We started to clean up together, but with the amount of trash left by 5 people, it was clear it would take a while. Hey, do you want to know where I got these scars? I bet you're curious. What scars? I never even noticed. Not if you're comfortable with telling me, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Guess I was right, you are curious. At least they make me look extra intimidating at my job. No one's going to mess with the big rat chief of police. You'd probably think I got them from a crazy near-death case, but it's only true for one of them. Yes, I certainly remember what happened with Maverick's brother. I certainly do remember. The other was a completely different story. Back when I was a kid, some of my friends and I always used to play outside and go adventuring together. We could go anywhere, as long as it was close enough to town. Woods, mountains, beaches, we loved to explore every one of them. We got very familiar with our surroundings. Then one day, we heard from someone that there was the system of caves nearby. Caves? It was something completely new to us. Of course we went there as soon as we could. We were all very excited. It wasn't a big cave system, not big enough to get lost in, but we still had so much fun that day. So much in fact that I wanted to go back there right away. The next day I called up a few friends, but they had longer school day than I did. Instead of waiting them, I decided to go alone. Turns out going out exploring on my own was a little less exciting than doing so with friends. But I still had a pretty good time, and just walking through the entire underground system was quite an experience. Plus, since I was alone, I could take the time to explore every last nook and cranny that I wanted to. Maybe that was my mistake. When I was in one of the remote corners, the ground suddenly gave way and I fell about 5 meters into the cave below. Luckily, I didn't get any serious injuries from the fall, but as I looked for another exit, an ominous realization within. This cave had no entry point or exit, except the one I came in. There were a few holes, but I could never fit through any of them, or make them bigger in any way. Even if I could, I didn't know where they'd lead. In the end, I had to try and climb out, on my own. But as you can imagine, I wasn't exactly the best climber in town. Even so, I still got about halfway before I lost my grip and fell down again, cutting my muscle on the edge of a rock in the process. It bled pretty badly, but at least I knew where to put pressure on the wound. I couldn't try to climb out again, however, so I waited. It took several hours for anyone to even notice that I was missing. I must have been there for about 4 or 5 hours all alone before I heard footsteps above and a search party found me. Long story short, it turned out that besides the cave system we knew about, there was a much larger one right underneath. Those caves can only be entered with a guide now. And I got this lovely reminder of the experience of my muscle. I had plenty of time to think while I was down there, and later in life I often returned to that experience. At first, it made me want to get stronger, but I realized that strength alone wouldn't have saved me. I reckon will probably never be able to climb much at all, but I can at least try to better myself. I guess the full experience also kinda explains why I'm building those stupid wooden models now. Feeling so helpless while I waited down there, it also made me realize I wanted to help others. Having been saved by police did a lot to make me want to follow the same path. Turns out I was good enough to even become chief. Guess that's all of the trash. Thanks for the help. I suppose I'll have to tell you about the second scar some other time. Let's head back now, shall we? Sir? Looks like it's already later than I thought. We better head to sleep soon. You can take the couch and I'll just sleep on the floor or something. Don't you have a bed? Oh, this is a temporary arrangement. I wanted to be closer to work and the new apartment wasn't ready yet, so I had to stay here for a while. I see. With all this armor, I barely even feel anything, so it doesn't matter where I sleep. There's no need for you to sleep on the floor. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. No problem. See you tomorrow then. See you. Looks like I have some free time today. Aha, so this is the part where you can choose the good or bad ending. Oh, that must be him. Hey, Ippe. Hey, Bruce. I know you said you wanted to get out of that small apartment of yours, but I'm not sure if mine's much different. Well, I figured yours couldn't be any worse than mine, and now that I'm saying it from the inside, I'd have to say the council didn't do a bad job with it at all. I assume it's appropriate for someone with my status. First, the chief of police has to make do with whatever he can get. You said it was only temporary. It is, but I'm really getting sick of it, to be honest. I can imagine. Anyway, what's the plan? Plan? We're gonna do something, right? If you find some entertainment, I could offer you a bookshelf full of it. Here, 39 Scepter of Sovereignty should do enough to last you a while. No, thanks. I had enough fiber in my diet already. I suppose you're not fine at reading, then. Why would I visit you just to read some crummy book? And besides, I do read from time to time. What do you read? Signs, menus, magazines. I don't think that counts. Let me take a look around your apartment then. Feel free, though I'm not sure if there's anything special about it. I was with amusement as Bruce headed for the kitchen. So that's what you're really looking for. Guess what? I found something. Here's a few of the cheap bottles of wine that had been in the cupboard since I arrived. Well, it was... well, how... it was guessable. Is guessable even a word? That Bruce is going for wines and beers. Why don't you rate the fridge while you're at it? No, thanks. This will do for now. Oh, I get it. You want to play spin the bottle? Sure. We just gotta empty it out first. I assume you don't mean emptying it into the sink. Of course not. That'd be a terrible waste. A terrible waste of the second cheapest wine from the store. I don't know how you humans are with stuff like that, but here we don't throw away perfectly good things. I'm not sure this wine would qualify as perfectly good. Hey, at least it's not the absolute bottom of the barrel. Now, are you going to help me with this or not? Well, this is the last meeting before the ending, so... heck, sir. Alright, let's make one glass for you and the rest for me. You think that's fair? If I had to guess, I'd say I weigh 5 to 10 times as much as you do, so this is as fair as it gets. If you say so. I opened the kitchen cabinet to find an appropriate vessel for Bruce, but when I turned to ask him about it, he'd already opened the bottle and was sucking on it like a baby. I suppose that means I won't have to do any dishes. How does it taste? Like wine, I guess. Cheap wine. Besides, I thought you were more of a beer person. Hey, I take what I can get. Of course. Just a few minutes later, the bottle had been emptied completely. I'm not sure if drinking like a dragon is a phrase, but if isn't, it should be. Exactly. Hey, not everyone can drink like me. I see. And now we can finally play spin the bottle. Don't we need 4 people for that? Damn, you're right. No one drank off this for nothing. Somehow I think the whole spin the bottle thing was just an excuse so you could drink the wine. What? I would never do such a thing. Of course not. Well, we could still play with it with just the two of us. At that point we wouldn't even need the bottle anymore. Dang it, Bruce. Come on, where's your sense of funness? Is that even a word? We're here to relax, you should lighten up a bit. Yeah, but playing spin the bottle with a dragon is quite different thing. Ugh, I hate the cough, okay? It's a bit hard to like now, given everything that's been happening here. If anything, it's worse now than it's ever been. Bryce's actions are threatening our agreement, and with it the survival of everyone I know back home. But what really takes the cake is that he may have it out for me because I'm helping all of you. You want to have this conversation right now? Alright, let's have it. Just let it all out. Yeah, why don't we talk about Maverick? He may have it out for me because he thinks I'm working with Redsa. And me? I'm just right here. Right in the middle of this whole mess, just trying to make the best of it. You know you're only involved in the investigation because we needed your help, right? I know, and I'm doing what I can, but that doesn't mean it's making the situation any easier. You think I don't know that? Me, the one responsible for every action our police is taking in this matter? If you want to go ahead and blame someone, just blame me, I can take it. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that this whole situation is something I'm not very comfortable with. And whose responsibility is that, huh? However you look at it, it's me. I was the one who didn't listen to Maverick back when he had his suspicions about Red, so if we had acted then, this whole thing might not have spiraled out of control like it did. And despite what you might think about him, he was the one who found Red's hideout, even after I forced him into sick leave. We were practically at Red's front door and he still got away somehow. If I had done something different, we might have caught him. Let this be my official apology to you. I apologize for anything I might have done to wrong you. I'm sorry for putting you through all of this and having to involve you in our work while trying to fix this whole mess. Because in the end, this is all my responsibility. You don't need to apologize for anything. He hurled the empty bottle against the wall on the other side of the room where it shattered into pieces. Then what do you want me to do, huh? Jeez. I don't know. Do you think it's easy for me, seeing so many people die on my watch? Do you think I don't keep asking myself the same questions? What I could have done differently, and if that would have made a difference? You think as a chief I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not. How could someone ever get used to this? It's my duty, you know. But I can't save the world, never could. You've been to more than enough crime scenes by now. How have you remained so calm? Do all those who had died not matter to you? I'm sorry for making you look at corpse on your very first day here, but you know I had to. Your help here has been invaluable, and it's not like I could ask anyone else. It's the same for me, really. So they could ask someone else to be chief, but if I'm the one who's best suited for the job, who am I to reject that? Otherwise, I'd have to blame myself for every mistake the other chief made. Is that why you drink? It might come as a surprise, but actually, the alcoholic police chief used to be a huge stereotype in our world. Really? You wouldn't believe it. Actually, I do. The research about alcoholism in the police force is out there, but the general populace doesn't know about it. It's all just internal documents. Why don't people know? They don't want to know about unhappy things like that. Besides, they trust their chief. If they knew about it, maybe they'd just start to have their doubts. I thought it was common knowledge that you visit the bar fairly often. Often enough that you're friends with the bartender. I don't know. Maybe they don't realize how it affects me. They see someone who can drink a lot and does it for fun. But they don't realize what it means. What other stereotypes about the police are there in your world? That is the biggest one. I see. Well, alcoholism and suicide both are huge problems in law enforcement. Suicide? Yeah. If you have to deal with the things we do on a daily basis, it can affect you in pretty bad ways. Everyone has their breaking point. We all just cope in our own different ways. Some do it better than others. That's why I'm worried about Maverick right now, and why I wish you'd known me as long as I have. You think he's at his breaking point? He's taking his whole Red situation very personally. I'm just worried about him, you know. Just like I'm worried about everything else until we can sort out this whole mess. It's personal for me too. No matter what you may think about Maverick, or what he may think of you, he still found Red's hideout, which led us to generators. I guess you have both helped a lot in this investigation. My point with all this is, we're all a very tight-knit group at the police station. Me, Sebastian, Maverick, Naomi. The bond we form on the job is how we know to look out for each other. I can tell you there's nothing else quite like it. What do you think? How many more have to die to stop Redza? If anything, he's more dangerous now than he's ever been before. You know how much depends on how this all turns out. Whatever happens, I'm just glad to have known you. Remember what I told you about the mood of bundles I'm making? I never told anyone else about that. As much as I like everyone at the department, it's just not something I can talk about with them. You saw us at the barbecue. I never heard the end of it. Sorry about the bottle, by the way. I cleaned him up, but don't worry about it. It was empty anyway. That's the Ippe I like. Well, you wouldn't believe what happened with Emma at work. What did? I hated your advice and told her the truth. Details, Bruce. Tell me everything. Well, the day before yesterday, she tried her thing again, complained about her back pain to get the message and asked me if I didn't want to settle down eventually. At some point I had enough and just told her outright that I'm not interested in her. For your own sake, I hope you weren't too harsh. Hey, you said I should tell her truth, so I did. What did you say? Just that I noticed her glare after interviewing me and that I'm not interested. That's all. And how did she react? Not much. She just looked at me and said, "Oh, I see." That's all. Yeah. Yep, and she stopped with the comments after that. Guess that's not so bad then. Well, not really. Now she's having me do all kinds of stupid things like guard the outside of her office door for hours on end. Maybe she's still worried about Redza. The building has its own security, so it's pretty clear that she's not just doing it to get back at me for rejecting her. She's really good at hiding it though. I'd never be able to prove it. You would have to be with her for much longer. Yeah, but I guess she'll just keep wasting my time until it's over. At least you tried to do the right thing. Yeah. Can I ask you something? Go ahead. If I told you that I'm a time traveler from the future, what would you say? Time travel? Is that something that just happens in bad science fiction novels? Why only bad science fiction novels in particular? Don't you think there could be a good one? Let's just say all science fiction novels because they are all bad. Huge generalization aside, what if we are in science fiction story and time travelers are real? I want to see some proof of it first. That's not something you come across every day after all. What if I confided it to you as a friend? You'd still have to show me proof, or else I'd call you out on the joke. What if I was serious? Well, it's pretty far out. That's the kind of thing someone would make me have to scam people for their money, or something like that. Alright, let's forget about time travelers. What if I told you there's another human here besides Redza and me? This is getting kinda weird, pal. Just entertain me for this question. Well, unless you had some sort of proof, I'd cut you crazy. As a member of law enforcement, aren't you supposed to follow up on every report? Yes, but that doesn't mean we have to believe everything. If there is no proof, we look for proof. If we don't find some, well, without any proof or least to follow, there's nothing we can do anyway. I see. By the way, when you and Sebastian went to the farmhouse to go after Redza, you just left me alone with Maverick in the same room. I did? Yeah, I was worried there for a few seconds. Don't you worry about him. You mentioned that you had a talk with him about a week ago, and that didn't end badly for you either. He might be scary, but I don't think you need to be afraid of him. He's got a very strong sense of justice, so he wouldn't do anything to you without a good reason. The question is, whether you or I would find those reasons good too. Seriously, don't worry about him. Don't base your opinion of him solely on that incident at the portal. Do you really think he was wrong suspect Redza? When Redza went on to do the things he's done? When we talked with Tamara, she pointed out that the incident could cause this fall mess. No matter his reasons, do you really think you want to defend Redza's actions like that? I don't know. This sucks for everyone involved, so let's just focus on getting things done when on the job and not let consume us elsewhere. Maybe you're right. What's that outside? Fireworks? Yeah, must be the summer festival. You wanted to get out of your apartment, and rather than go to the festival, and you came here? The festival isn't really anything special for me anymore. Seen one, seen them all. Besides, it's usually more for, I think, for families, really. I see. Are those the fireworks people keep talking about? No, they have... Sorry, I burped. Nope, they have a fireworks show every evening. Nobody really even cares about this the first couple of days. It's only on the last day when they bring out the big ones. I usually watch those. Also, if there's big explosions, then you care. Well, yeah, but it's a big tradition here, maybe even an ideological one. You know, everyone in the whole town united under the stars watches the beautiful fireworks. It's a thing. People have been telling me for the last few days how I just have to see them. I'll need to check carefully who is paying, alright? Alright. You know, you kinda owe it to us as an ambassador to take part in the cultural event like that. I'm going to go anyway, so you don't need to convince me. Wanna come with me? I know all the good weaving spots. Most of the popular ones are usually super crowded, and you probably want to avoid those. I can't really promise anything right now, but I'll keep it in mind. Well, you got my number, so let me know as soon as you can. So thing. It's getting late, so maybe I should get going now. I suppose so. Thanks for coming at any rate. Thank you for having me. Don't forget to call me about the fireworks. Yeah, sir. And now it's time to see the ending. That must be him. I hope you're ready to see the fireworks, because I brought everything we need. In front of him there was a wooden woven basket that was closed at the top. It reminded me of a lot of typical picnic basket. What are you talking about? Snacks and other things. You'll see. Does it include beer, maybe? I kinda wanted to apologize for the last time, so maybe I can make up for that. Don't mention it. I'm glad you're even willing to see me again after what happened. I'm serious. Let's just forget it and focus on today. Alright. Let's go then. Well, Bruce was certainly angry. But now when we know why he drinks, it's quite serious thing. After a few minutes of walking, we arrived at a rather empty-looking area near the edge of town. Where is everyone else? I thought the whole population was watching the fireworks. Well, there are more public spaces, but someone like you would get pushed around a lot in the crowds. Besides, I think you'll appreciate the solitude. If you say so. The fireworks should start at any minute now. If you're hungry, you can grab something for the fun basket. Fun basket. That's what I call it. I didn't know snacks were that much fun for you. They certainly can be. Besides, there are other things inside as well. Oh, I think it's starting. We waited quietly as the stillness of the night enveloped us. Soon I heard the sound of the first rocket making its way to the night sky, after which it exploded in a pattern of colors. More rockets followed, a thunderous noise echoing throughout the land. Suddenly a terrible realization hit me. Considering how public of an event this was and how everyone would be watching the fireworks, now would be the best time for Reds to make his move. Not only was the village basically deserted, but the sounds of the fireworks would also overshadow any gunshots, giving him as much security as he would ever have. As the portal had been repaired by the mysterious person I met, now was the perfect time for Reds to make his getaway, and I was the only one who knew. Bruce, I think we need to go. Now. What, do you want to take this somewhere else? I know where Red says. What are you talking about? Are you sure? I'd bet my life on it. Then we have no time to lose, let's go. We arrived at the portal just a few minutes later. While I checked out the portal itself, Bruce looked around the area. I was glad to see it was still turned off. Had it been used recently, it would either still be running or in the process of recharging. Ritza was still here somewhere. Damn it. What is it, Bruce? Hesitating, I drew nearer. He's dead, but still warm.
That.
Ritz hasn't used the portal yet. How could he? Isn't it broken? Not anymore. Looks like someone repaired it. Then he must be close. But where is he? What is so good that he won't leave without it? The underground building. The administrator had told me all about the progress of the generators within. It probably hadn't been hard for Ritz to guess the same, or to try stealing it from a place he knew would be even more deserted than the rest of the village was right now. That must be it. So what do we do now? We could wait from here, but I think I've got even better plan. What is it? Let's just do it like the last time. You go in first and I'll step behind outside. If you meet him, you can confront him and maybe talk him down. But if he tries to flee, he'll still have to get through me first. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's go. Bruce led me to the dig site, where they had unearthed the building's entry. Once we got nearer, he stayed behind and motioned for me to go forward. He slowly followed me, tried to stay in cover as I entered the building. Inside I was met with a long illuminated hallway that was lined up with doors on both sides. Since the light were already on, which had to be very close. Large cardboard box, yes. Maybe I can. Suddenly Bruce was standing next to me. Now you're showing your true colors, Ippe. No, Reds, you did. I was willing to talk this out. Alright, game's over. He pulled out his gun, not sure which one he should be aiming at. The 6 bullets I have in here should be more than enough for you two. I wouldn't be so sure of that. Do you think you can really do that, Redsa? Do you think this is worth risking your life for? I've been risking my life for this every day for the last 3 weeks. What did you do during that time? Sip champagne in your nice apartment? Besides, this generator and the whole building came from our time. They belong to humanity. Suddenly, the administrator came out from the shadows in the hallway behind Ritza. No, they belong to me. Confused, Ritza spun around and he scanned the newcomer who was slowly walking towards him. Who the f are you? Freeze! I said freeze! Want to waste your bullets on me? Feel free. You can stop all of us. If you say so. He pulled the trigger, and the administrator fell to the ground with a dull thud that knocked her mask off. My first instinct was to run away, but as Bruce started charging, so did I. Ritza aimed at Bruce. It took 4 shots before he stumbled and fell. Then Ritza aimed at me. I quickly dove behind the box with the generator for cover, just as Ritza pulled the trigger multiple times. Only a single shot came out and lodged itself in the box. Though I was seemingly unharmed, a loud hiss began to emanate from my cover. Run, Phil! It's going to explode! Immediately, Ritza and I ran towards the exit. Gaining speed, he pushed me and I fell to the ground as he ran outside. As I got down again, I saw Bruce still lying in the same spot. What about you? I can't move. Just go. It'll be any second now. I ran as fast as I could. As I was about to reach the outside, I looked back over my shoulder just in time to see Bruce throwing himself on the box before it exploded. There was a rain of small debris as I heard the walls of buildings shaking in their foundation. As I made my way to the portal, I saw Ritza fumbling with his gun as Maverick punched on him. He bit into Ritza's neck and strained for a second before ripping a large chunk out of it. Ritza wasn't moving when Maverick walked off and came towards me.
Where is Bruce?
He was inside, threw himself on the generator before it exploded. His face contorted in the expression of pain and anger I hadn't seen before.
I greatly admired him, you know. I knew I couldn't trust you a lot when you came here. His blood is on your hands, because he got involved in your matters, your pointless struggles. You never were on our side. It was your fight that you brought here, that he, all of us got involved in. Our world, your battlefield, our people, the casualties. And you still pretend that you were just trying to help us.
It was Bruce himself who asked me for help. He would have wanted to.
Don't tell me what he would have wanted. He's the only reason you are still breathing. The portal is over here. I'm giving you this one chance to leave. If you refuse, I will kill you.
Alright. Okay, Maverick is scary. Right now, okay? He accompanied me to the portal, never leaving my side. When we arrived, I remembered there was something I needed to know before I left. Wait, the comet, you need to listen. Suddenly, one of his claws wrapped around my neck and tightened its grip until it was cutting off my airways.
I said you had one chance. One more word, human. One more word, human, and you're dead. Do you hear me?
He let me go and showed me towards the portal's controls. As I tried to figure out its interface, only one set of coordinates presented themselves to me, which I confirmed. Ruthlessly, I took my place in the middle of the portal. Maverick's gates never left me as the portal did its startup routine, and I thought about what would happen now. I was going to be the one who would have to tell humanity what happened, that Retsa was dead, and I scared with nothing but my own life. I was sure the welcome I must receive would not be a warm one. This mission had been a last-ditch effort on humanity's part to save our slowly dying city. For all my efforts, not only had I gained nothing, but I also lost the PDAs I had given to the dragons. Considering our city's failure, I could only guess that whatever other cities remained had limited time as well. At this rate, humanity was doomed. On the other hand, all of those who knew about the danger of the comet in the dragon's world were either gone or dead. Maverick would no doubt tell his own side of the story of how he stopped both Retsa and I, for he had accountable for the deaths that had occurred. Maybe he would be hailed as a hero for having stopped Retsa, only to be proven wrong when a few weeks later the comet would strike. Okay, this ending was pretty intense. Maverick killed Retsa, and he was very near of killing me. But then again, Retsa really doesn't trust me. I mean Maverick doesn't really trust me. And neither does Retsa, really. So, what's happening? The portal is there. Welcome back. If you haven't realized it yet, this is the day for your arrival in this world. Who are you? I can't remember anything. It's fine if you don't. Actually, this may be better for both of us. I don't even know if you met before, or if this is just the effect of the teleportation. Either way, it doesn't matter. Come on, Remy will pick you up soon. And there's something else we need to take care of first. You have seen Bruce's bad ending. And there's Bruce's shadow. Well, I certainly do remember. Back in the first day. So, that was Bruce's bad ending. This is Ippe, and we see you in the next video.